It's time for another power-packed episode of Headspace with Dr. Mike. Each week, Dr. Mike is committed to addressing real life, sometimes polarizing and controversial issues, while offering practical and informed insight. Listen in as we discuss hot topics that matter to us and the communities we live in.
What's up, Headspacers? How's everybody doing this morning? It is so good to see you all out there. You know what? Who is in the studio today? Christine. What's going on, Miss Sigma Gamma Rho?
Good morning. Good morning. I almost wore my letters today, but I spared you. I'm gonna put them on after.
You gonna put it on? You could have. Listen, it's founders. You know, it's your founder.
It's our weekend. Yep.
Yeah, so you could go ahead and celebrate.
I wasn't sure what we were going to be talking about, so
I get it. I get it.
Can't lose my letters now.
We don't look. You didn't earn those letters. We don't want you to lose them now. It is so good to have you back in the virtual studio. You know, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I had to make appointments with this one. Like I have to actually make appointments.
Yeah.
I have to get on her calendar. You know. So people think that Headspace with Dr. Mike is like the hot ticket out there. I'm not convinced. I think I got to do a little bit more selling because I had to like get on calendars, talk to assistants, speak to interns.
People call my people.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to have you in there because we always have great conversation. My Aries friend, and throughout the course of the week, as we we deal with our professional lives, we tend to keep each other from jumping off ledges. And was it me?
Yes.
Or did it seem like Monday and Tuesday was the longest month ever?
Yeah, that wasn't me.
It wasn't like that for you?
I didn't share that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. At least in the Dorsey household, it felt like that. It was like Monday. It was like I looked at the clock, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I felt like I had all life that happened even before 10 o'clock. But then I was talking to Shavella yesterday over dinner, and it dawned on me, we did kind of like do the whole daylight, fall back. And I am noticing that my body is not as resilient as it used to be.
Oh, yeah. Definitely need a little siesta. Sheesh. I saw a meme that said they didn't have to take that much time or something like that. It was pretty funny. I gotta look. I'm gonna look and see what it said. I was cracking up.
Now wait a minute. You know what's funny? There's a lot of vitriol out there against like the whole clock change stuff. What's it say? They ain't have to save that much daylight. They ain't have to save that much daylight. Come on now. Listen. And this is a question, and those of us, thank you all, those of you who are tuning in live as we record on Saturdays, but then also those of you who are listening in around the world. We are so grateful for you on the podcast. Question though, are you against the time change? Like,
no.
I love it. I
don't know how I would adjust because I heard that they were trying to put that make it something, make it so that it's not a thing anymore. I think I was talking to my mom about it. I don't know how I would adjust to it going away. I mean, I guess we would get used to it like we get used to everything else, but that's dumb.
Yeah,
they don't have to change everything.
Yeah, like then I guess for me, and maybe maybe it's because of nostalgia, right? Because I just I just remember as a kid, like. First of all, the fun of because in our house, like when we did the fall back thing, it was always like a tradition. My mom made homemade cheesesteaks, and then we always that's when and it always ended up being like the coldest day of the fall. And so I remember putting on my flannel pajamas. Like I have a lot of nostalgic memories.
Okay, well, it's been summertime hot this week, so
I don't. TMI, I don't sleep in flannel pajamas anymore.
No, I was just speaking to how much it has changed. Like,
yeah. Well, global warming,
but to speak to your nostalgia, since we're talking about falling back and thinking that something else they can bring back is yellow Wendy's, because this new Wendy's is terrible. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. They need to go back to yellow Wendy's when we was little, when all the containers was yellow.
Yeah,
this new Wendy's ain't hitting on it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Off topic. Sorry.
Well, they also need to go back to remember the salad bar in Wendy's?
Yep.
The salad
And
bar.
fried chicken.
I tell people about that all the time. So Wendy's originated in Ohio, right? So I just knew when I lived in Ohio that they would like remember the fried chicken in the Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those people look at me like it was like Wendy's had fried chicken, yes, and it was good. Like
it was very crispy.
It was like you put the fried chicken with the French fries, the original Wendy's French fries.
See, my man,
the original Wendy's French fries.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what this stuff is. They sell them today.
Right. You know, I'm trying to live right with my health, but it's like, you know, well, I don't like the new Wendy's because the new Wendy's ain't the yellow Wendy's. And so there it is.
No bueno. No bueno.
So Dave, what's his name? Dave Thomas. Is he still alive? The founder?
I don't think so. I think Wendy took over. And
well, Wendy, you need to get it together.
He does, for sure.
Get it together. Go back to the yellow Wendy's. Anyway, we would see. Look at how we solve the world's problems. We
one French fry at a time.
Stay around. And we established that Wendy's needs to go back to the yellow Wendy's.
I got that.
So, all right. So we're talking about this while we're here, and you know, we always this is y'all. What's funny is this conversation. There are times where we'll go into conversation like this on like the phone or even over text message, and what we'll say is, you know, we need to say this for the show because this is like our lives. Like this is what happens.
He lying. I don't be saying that. It's been a while. Listen. You scheduled this.
You know what? I work for it. All right, cool. So all right. So what's happening? What we got going on with our some head notes? We got a lot of news happening. What
let's see. I'll just pick something out of the top. I guess let's start with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Okay.
Now I'll kick it over to you because I'll just comment.
Okay. All right. So Headspacers, I want to make sure that I'm very clear when I say this. I do believe innocent until proven guilty. Like I do believe in the theory of that, right? I do believe in that. And so I do believe that the young man does deserve his day in court. I do believe that. However, I'm just kind of confused because, and y'all, this is not based off of speculation. This is based off of what, if you've been following the case. First of all, why is your mother putting you in a car? You're not 18 yet, so you're underage, so you're under 18. Put you in a car with a assault rifle when you know there's going to be trouble. So why are we even letting this be a thing? Secondly, all right, so you were attacked, right? And he did a look, you know, I'm in the arts, I'm creative, I direct folk. He did a phenomenal job in trying, you know, when he was crying and all that stuff. I mean, he did. I mean, and I'm not doubting that he didn't have any type of trauma induced as a result. So I'm not going to deny that. However, what is your expectation if you are walking around in the heat of a battle representing the other side of things with an assault rifle? Like what, I guess for me, what did you really expect was supposed to happen to you? And how is this self-defense when you walked into the situation with your mind made up that you were going to shoot some heads off? What you thinking?
So I want to go back to my issue with the whole thing is how the mother is not in any trouble at all.
Yeah.
I take serious issue with how is she not being held accountable for driving that boy to a riot and leaving him there with an assault rifle?
Yeah.
Whole time you have a brown mother who went to jail for sending her child to a school in a better district. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I can't.
Miss me with all of it. Miss me with all of it. I don't believe the tears. I think he had lemon heads. Miss me with all of it. The lemon heads to produce the tear ducting. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't. I'm not budging on this.
You ain't buying it.
No.
Yeah. I'm just shocked. I mean, the whole proceeding is just baffling me. Like,
yes.
Even the whole And apparently this judge is not like, he's pretty hard-nosed.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've heard is he's really a judge, like he's really hard on criminals. Like what they've said that if a person, they have an uphill battle if they are the, because he was a former prosecutor and all that stuff. So he kind of, they say he's been pretty hard-nosed, but he has really been on the prosecution's case. Even when it comes down to the jargon, like wasn't allowed to refer to any of the protesters as victims, but yet he was allowed to be, Kyle Rittenhouse was allowed to be, he wasn't, there's something that he wasn't referred as. He's allowed, he's not allowed to be placed in a position of like he was a bad person. And then of course the prosecutor got a shellacking by I can't believe I just used that word on there, but he got did I just use that word? Did I just say shellacking?
You certainly did.
Y'all, this is crazy. Anyway, I'm eager to hear when the jury gets the case on, I guess closing arguments are given on Monday. So we're gonna see where that goes, and I'm thinking he's gonna get off. Like, I think he's gonna get off.
I think you're right.
I think he's gonna get off. And then speaking of court cases, we have another one going on right down in Georgia. So this is up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, but we down in Georgia, we have Ahmaud Arbery, his murder, the murder trial for his murderers, and I'm going to call.
I'm glad you switched that. I'm glad you switched that from the Ahmaud Arbery trial, because he ain't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing. It's the murder trial of Ahmaud Arbery, the people that murdered him.
Correct.
I'm going to refer to it as murder. That was murder.
Yeah, because I tell you what, if I leave out of my house today and I see a development being built that's got some houses, I'm looking. We've all done it.
People that don't look. I know quite a few people. Matter of fact, from what I remember, because I remember there are times when I'm driving around just to see developments and stuff, and you're curious about, you're interested in the development. Let me go see what they're doing with these houses, right? I mean,
absolutely.
I know that my parents, when they got our house built back when I was in the second grade, I remember we would go periodically and visit the house. Yeah. But then here's the other part of it, Christine. This is where I've always been stuck at. What part of that warrants you getting killed?
Correct. Exactly. Make it make sense, Dr. Mike.
By folk that don't even connect it to the house. You're not the contractor, so it's not like you're worried that your stuff is going to get stolen, like your equipment. Right. It's not your future house. Like, it's not. Matter of fact, was it even their neighborhood?
I want to say I don't think so, but
I don't know. I don't know. Well, here's the latest development. The defense attorney basically said, we don't want any more black pastors sitting in there consoling the mother of Ahmaud Arbery. And their excuse was too much of that will kind of get the defense. They're basically trying to argue. I heard a pundit on TV say they're trying to argue that basically what that's doing is setting it up so that the jury can be more sensitive to the prosecution side of things, and it goes against their clients. So I understand defense attorneys wanting to look out for their clients. Got that. However, would you say? I mean, I can't imagine if we were to say, I don't want any white clergy in the audience. I don't.
My oldest child is 23 years old. She'll be 24 in January. And I will never forget this little jewel that she dropped for me. That, Mommy, some people will always have the audacity, but rarely have the decency.
Ooh. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I don't know. My prayers are with that family, because I mean, just watching some of the footage from the trial and just having to relive some of that, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. It's a reminder that we do live in a sin-filled world. and that evil is prevalent. And sometimes you look at it and you say, man, I just wish it wasn't against us.
Oh yeah, the scale is very unbalanced, and nobody. That's just what it is.
It's tiresome, but all right, let's go ahead and take a break.
2020 gave birth to a lot of endeavors. Here in 2021, everyone has had to get in touch with their inner producer. Our man Garrett Brace is one of those guys you need on your team. We at Headspace with Dr. Mike are clients of his, as he ensures all of our audio files are crisp, clean, and cool. If you have any audio, video, and even lighting needs, hit him up at G Waltz Services on Instagram. Remember, G Waltz Services, servicing all your audio, video, and lighting needs.
So as I was thinking about today's heads up, one of the things that I was thinking about, I was reflecting on, I was sitting in training. I was actually sitting in training for, I was sitting in training. Christine, don't give me that look.
Like, what's happening?
I was sitting in training, and us trainers, it's kind of hard for us to sit in training because my attention span is not the best. And so anyway, I was in training, and one of the things I reflected on was a seminar that I attended several years ago. It's through something called the Landmark Forum. And those of you who have ever been involved in the Landmark Forum, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those that haven't, one day I may actually talk about the Landmark Forum because it really was a benefit to me. But anyway, one of the things that at the beginning of the seminar, as the seminar was being as the seminar was when you start a seminar, the facilitator always does the ground rules for engagement, how you're supposed to participate, what does it mean to participate, making sure you honor everybody. A lot of times it's not uncommon for us to put like a community contract together where we say these are the ground rules for what we're going to do. We're willing to abide by these. We come to a consensus on what these are, what participation looks like, the fact that this is going to be a safe space. A lot of times you hear the Vegas rule, which means what goes on in the classroom stays in the classroom. It's not intended for what's shared in here to go back and be reported to someone else. Because a lot of times in training, it's not just about getting information, but a lot of times we divulge like some things that are a little more personal in nature. And one of the things that the facilitator said that I just thought was really prolific was, you cannot expect the results if you don't play 100%. You cannot expect the results if you don't play 100%. And I was thinking about that when they said it, and I heard what they meant, and it made sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting this to work, so that means that I have to, participate, right? I get all that. That makes total sense. But then it wasn't until we started doing the work, right, and we started digging into, a lot of this was a lot of work with our self-concept and just working with some things that may be going on inside of us. A lot of people came into this particular seminar with some issues that they wanted some resolution in. And it became very clear very quickly that in order for me to experience the transformation, the breakthrough, the relief that I was hoping to get as a result of this experience, that I had to be willing to play 100%. And that really means something. And I'm bringing this up to you all because we're finishing up the fourth quarter. We're right in the midst of the fourth quarter of the year. We are getting ready to go into 2022, a new year. Everything tends to roll back over. We get at work you get new set of benefits. We get a new calendar for our offices. We get to try again, right? 2021, as we got into it about 3 months in, we say, yep, it's time for 2022, right? It's like we're ready to go into the new year. And as we're rolling into those things, there's some things that we're hoping for. One of the things is we look back at the beginning of the year and we had expectations for some things that we wanted to see by the end of the year. And some of you are sitting back saying, yeah, I'm not quite seeing those coming to fruition. On top of that, you're also sitting there thinking about, man, this is the year where I'm going to make this thing happen. And the question is, where are you at with that progress? And it all goes back to how much have you been playing? Have you been playing 50%? Have you been playing 40%? Have you been playing 60%? Have you been playing 90%? And one of the things that I am convinced of is that the work that you put in will eventually pay off down the road. It doesn't always show up when, that just blessed me right there, because, a lot of times we live in this culture and this society that is very driven by, the instant gratification. I mean, think about it. Like if we get upset if we have to wait at a restaurant for over 15 minutes, right? We're in a situation now where we can actually go, and if I really don't have to sit in the drive-through line at a fast food restaurant. I can actually order on my app, and then I can go pull over to the side and someone will bring it out when I let them know I'm there. We live in a society where, you can go get microwave meals and within 2 minutes you can have a full-fledged meal. We have things that are brought to us. We want what we want when we want it. Right? We were just talking and we'll talk a little later on about some of the movies and the fact that there are movies that I don't even have to wait to come out. I don't have to wait. I don't have to go to the movie theater to see it. I can actually see it from home, right? We live in this world of instant gratification. And so a lot of times when it comes time to get some things done, we realize that we got to work at it. My son, the other day in his fourth grade class, he's learning how to play the recorder, the plastic flute type thing. And my son, he's who he is. He's his son, and he's his dad and his mom's child. And both of us, we tend to be perfectionists when it comes to our crafts. And one of the things that, he'll be playing and hit a bad note and get frustrated. And we're like, Mike, why are you getting frustrated? He's like, I want to get it right. And it's like, well, dude, you have to practice to get it right. Like, you got to put the time in to get it right. And so one of the things we have to recognize is that, you see people like LeBron James, you see, you hear the stories of Michael Jordan, you hear the stories of, Lamar Jackson and all the different players. You see people like Denzel Washington and, Jonathan Majors and Regina King. You see them on the screen and you think, oh, they just woke up and bam, they were able to do it. No, they played 100%. They played as close to 100% as possible. What they did was they put the work in. They put the time in, they put the energy in, they put the practice in. They took the time and made the investment. Sometimes playing 100% is not just about what you do with your time. Sometimes it's what you do with your resources. Seriously, like, you say you want to be a good actor. Well, what kind of investment are you making in being a good actor? You say you want to be a good speaker. Well, what kind of investments are you making in being a good speaker? You say you want to be a lot more healthier. Well, what investments are you making towards being healthy? You know that I'm doing the health coach thing because I'm on a health journey myself. And part of what's helping me along the way is actually I'm helping others. And one of the conversations that I have with some of my clients is they're like, I'm just expecting, I want more weight. And, I've lost 2 pounds this week and I wanted to lose 7 and you're losing 10 pounds a week. And why is that I haven't? Whoa, wait a minute. Time out, pause. Your experience and my experience are 2 different things, but you don't know the things that I've had to do or what other people have done to get them to this point. All you can focus in on, what type of investment have you made, right? What are you spending your time with, right? What kind of skin in the game? That's playing 100%. So as you all are, embarking on figuring out, closing out this year, setting yourselves up to get ready for what the new year will bring us. One of the things I want to ask you is, how willing are you to play 100%? What that means is that you're going to sow a seed now, expecting it to grow during harvest time. But the key is you have to put the work in now. It's time to play 100%, y'all. And that's my heads up.
Follow the Headspace with Dr. Mike show on all social media platforms at Headspace DM. We want to keep you up to date on all of our hot topics and keep the dialogue going even after the show. We also value what's important to you and your community. DM your show ideas to us on Instagram or Facebook. The next time you log on, you may hear Dr. Mike discussing the very topic or issue close to your heart.
All right, y'all. So, got to play 100%, right, Christine? Got to play 100%. Got to play 100%. So let's talk a little bit. So
Okay.
we talked about a couple of things. There's another thing that's out there now, with the Travis Scott tragedy, Astroworld down in Houston.
Yep.
First of all, and I have to confess this, and I feel awful. I didn't know who. I heard the name, but I really didn't know. I'm not familiar with his work. Now, you don't judge. I have a 9-year-old. You have 20 somethings. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yes.
though, you do
Definitely.
have that influence. I mean, I'm just gonna say. So, first of all, Travis Scott, he's pretty major. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it? Like, it was a festival, it was an outdoor concert.
Yes. That's what Astroworld is. It's like a big yearly thing, kind of like, what's the other one that they do in California?
Also, it's like a festival. Like, it's like there are other artists that come as well.
Now that I'm not as well. I don't know if it's other people. I do know that it's Travis Scott's thing, but I believe that it's yearly.
Got it. Okay. And so the issue was that they didn't have the proper crowd control.
And I have a hard time even picturing a stampede of people of that magnitude having, you know what I mean? Like, what could you possibly, because I've been to several concerts that are where you have to stand, you know what I mean? Like, I've just never rushed a stage. Like, I'm
not the rushing the stage type people.
I mean, we haven't always been this age. At a point, I may have been.
Were you? Did you rush the stage though?
I might have run up to the stage like at AdFram to try to get as close to the front as possible to see. Okay. I don't know. Let's say it was Belle Biv DeVoe. I might want to have the closest look, but I don't want to step on a person to do it. Like, I don't know. I guess like I don't know. I just have a hard time even picturing how that even happens. Like, how is it a?
You know, Christine, I will be honest with you. I don't have a heart. Given what we've gone through over the last 18 months, I don't find it surprising. I don't know if this is, and I don't want to, hijack that situation. First of all, my heart goes out to the families that have lost and are continuing to lose family members. I think somebody just recently, a person was in the hospital in critical condition and they've lost their life. And so I don't want to at any way diminish the power of that and what's happening with those families. And to that end, though, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that we had a group of individuals who just got so consumed by what was going on in their lives, they weren't paying attention to what was going on in other people's lives. And in turn, it led to some of them dying. Like, I'm not surprised. Maybe if before the pandemic, I may have been as surprised. And maybe my heart is just different now, but I'm just not surprised. Like, it sounds about right. So I just don't know. I don't know. And then I think he's I guess ultimately, because he's the name of it, they are going to scrutinize, and that, I think rightly so. I mean, you pay these people to make these decisions, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Very true. It doesn't seem, I don't know. It seems like the venue that put it on should be on the hook a little bit more. I haven't seen much about that being the case. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy though how the world that we now live in works though, because you said, I'm saying this, you might know, but you might not. Just since you're saying that you're not as familiar with Travis. Travis Scott is Kylie Jenner's baby daddy.
Oh, okay. I get that. Okay.
So, but now the Jenners and Kardashians are under fire because they haven't been sympathetic enough long enough. They're still going about their daily lives. Why aren't they upset, or why aren't they more grief stricken because their family is going through this? It's just crazy how the world is just like attaching everyone to everything. Like, those are, I just don't feel like it should all be, lumped into one thing. Like they said that, I think it hasn't been Kim yet. I think it was Khloe and Kourtney Kardashian that are under fire because there are still ads at this time for their respective businesses. And I'm like, I don't like, it's not like they were like Never mind all of you people. That stuff could be on a schedule. You know what I mean? Like I just
Right, yeah.
like
I mean, it's Christmas. I mean, it's Christmas time. I
right.
mean,
And I don't mean to sound insensitive, but daggone.
yeah, no, I'm with you on that, Kristen. I mean, yeah, I think that there does need to be I think, you know what I mean? It just goes to show. I think, remember when you ever with your laptop, or your iPad, there's a feature where if any type of touch screen, there's a sensitivity sensor, and it determines how sensitive it is to touch. I feel like our sensitivity sensors have been ramped up for everything. And that everything, and I think part of that may have to do with social media. I think some of that has to do with just the fact that we have access to information. Remember back in the day when they used to say knowledge is power? And I really do believe that in different ways now. Like I used to think it was just about, making sure you go to school and you're able to be successful in your life growing up. But I think knowledge is power is just sometimes people have so much information that it puts them in the power seat, and not all power is good.
True that.
And so I think that we're in an age. I don't necessarily say, all right, well, we just need to shut down social media, shut down 24-hour news. Like I'm not saying that, but I am saying that there is the possibility that we just have so much access to so much information that, to be honest with you, we just don't know what to do with it. Because I mean, some could argue then, I mean, that it goes across the board. Like, at what point do I just need? Am I supposed to just go into? The Jewish folk have what's called Shiva. Am I supposed to just go into a state of Shiva for the rest of my life because people are going to die every day, right? And what does that look like? And so, I don't know. That is hard. I didn't realize the connection between the two, and so maybe I need to pay attention. I need to pay attention to more to news. But again, our thoughts and prayers are going out with the families of those who are dealing with those tragic losses. That's unfortunately. So there was another thing, and you and I kind of started a conversation about this, and I think I got to be careful when I talk about stuff like this because it means I may lose my card a little bit.
Oh, good Lord. What is it?
No, I stay with my card sitting at the top of my wallet because somebody might yank it. But there was a situation in Virginia, yet again. Virginia just seems to always get themselves in trouble with stuff. There was a white legislator that decided, and I don't even know if this was recent, but he decided that he wanted to dress like, who was it? Was it Prince? No, because you didn't have to do too much with that. He wanted to dress like, oh shoot.
Did you send it to me on Instagram?
I did send it. Yeah, it was on Instagram. He wanted to dress like a black person. Like, and his intent was not to
sexual chocolate is who he
wanted to be sexual chocolate. That's right. From coming to America. So he wanted to do that. So I mean, you can't be sexual chocolate if you don't look chocolate. So I get that. So he got under fire because of that. And I guess for me, again, here's my card. I guess for me, I had a hard time understanding why he's getting in trouble for it. He's being a character for Halloween. In some ways, I thought that was kind of like, oh, cool. This white person wants to like be a black character, right? What's wrong with it? Tell me, Christine. Help me out. What's wrong?
Well, my first thing I would say it's just in poor taste right now. It's too. It could be what you were talking about earlier about the sensitivity thing. Everything is heightened. I mean, blackface has always been an issue, though.
I get that part.
Like, if you wanted to be sexual, why did you even choose that?
Because it's one of his favorite characters in Coming to America. And that's the way I get you. So for my listeners, I want to make sure y'all understand, because I don't want y'all canceling me. Don't y'all cancel me. All right. The purpose of this show is to talk through this, right? And I did talk to some black folk who agree with me on this, right? In the sense that we're trying to understand it. I thought it was, back in the day during the minstrel shows and all that stuff, they weren't willing to pay black people to be themselves. So what they wanted to do was they would paint their faces to do it. They would also do it to be funny and to make jokes on our behalf. So that was just wrong, right? The whole blackface movement was impeccable. But for me, when I see this guy's trying to be a character, right? what is wrong? So would it have been better if there was a sexual chocolate mask and then he just put the sexual chocolate mask on?
He could have worn a whole bunch of little Hershey's all down him or something with something. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that now is the time to be. Nobody is going to, except for you, Dr. Mike, nobody is going to see that as, oh, I was just trying to be this character. Now, what were you really trying to do? Is, you know what I mean? Like,
I think you make up a good point. I think that intent is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree, though, that you're right. The timing is, what's that saying? Too soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Too soon. I think you may be right. In poor taste, given the climate that we are in,
Mm-hmm.
I do think that you probably should reconsider that. So I do agree with that. I can live with that.
I mean, and I can see even using your example, like I feel like you gave your own reason why it was wrong when you said that they didn't want to pay Black people to be Black actors, so they let white people wear black paint to be Black people. But now you think it's fine for you to no. Wait
a minute. Now is one of my friends, Felicia, you better not cancel me.
She said never. Can you read?
She canceled me. Yes.
Oh, she did. Oh,
cancel me.
Oh,
this is my opinion.
Oh my God.
The purpose of this is my opinion.
Oh my God.
One of my friends. We're supposed to be going out to dinner in a day. I'm getting canceled by my friends. Lord have mercy. Oh, you know what? It is what it is. I get it. I totally get it. I hear you. And I think no blackface is ever acceptable. I disagree with that. I don't necessarily think that. I get it. That I think it's about intention. I think, to me, if a person wanted to dress as Colin Powell because that was a hero of theirs, or if a person wanted to, their favorite basketball player is LeBron James and they happen to be white and they want to do that, I'm not holding it against them because they're trying to play the part. I don't know. That's just how I feel about that. But if their intent is to make fun of and to go back to what blackface was, then okay.
Who's ever going to admit that? Who's ever going to admit, yeah, I'm trying to be a jerk about this? That's why it's always going to be, no.
Well, you and I know good white people that if they did it, we may give them the side eye, but we wouldn't necessarily write them off because of it.
I'm gonna be honest. The white people I know, my folks ain't doing that. Just saying, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
I don't know. Apparently, I'm getting a lot of vitriol. Lord, I'm gonna have to make this up. I get it. I mean, I just don't know. Somebody help me out. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I just think that sometimes you are right to say that our sensitivity level is a little too high sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't know.
Dress up for Halloween as Wonder Woman, but I'm gonna be Black, and Wonder Woman was not. Like I'm not. It's not gonna ever be the flip of that, ever.
That a Black person's gonna put a white face on to.
No, and they might be a white character, but we always gonna be that white character Black. Always.
I can rock with that. I can rock with that. Again, I said I was having a hard time understanding. I wanted to talk about it.
It seems like you kept your card, but you might be losing some folks. You got some text messages to send after the show.
I'm just saying. I said, my friends just canceling me. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm curious I didn't follow up on what his response was to everything. Mm-hmm. But I happen to know a couple of folk that used to surprise me when they told me. We actually know, we have a mutual friend that we work with. I'm not gonna say his name, but one of his favorite movies is Coming to America. Mm-hmm. And Sexual Chocolate is one of his favorite characters in Coming to America. And mm-hmm. I was like, that's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. That was kind of funny to me that you liked it. So I don't know. I just we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. Subway stays under wrap. They stay in trouble again. They in trouble. The latest news, apparently they were selling some fake tuna sandwiches. First of all, for the record, I do not eat anybody's tuna fish except for myself. Like if I'm having a tuna sandwich, I know where it's been made. Like I won't even eat it if somebody else makes it, unless they're like somebody like close to my family. Like if my wife makes it, my mom makes it, I make it. Like I'm just not eating it. But apparently they're saying that it's not real tuna in the tuna fish sandwiches. But it gets a step further. They're saying that one of the lawsuits says that there's DNA for chicken, pork, and cattle detected in the tuna. How does that happen? How is that thing? Like, what? That's a part of science I didn't pay attention in, because I always knew I wasn't going into medicine or anything like that. So I just kind of did what I had to do to pass science. But how does that happen?
Don't start me. No idea. That is crazy. Like when I read the headline, I was like, get the. That's exactly what. Like you, I'm not eating anybody's tuna. And as I know my mother would never do anything to harm me, but I'm not eating her tuna fish either because she puts too much crunchy stuff in it. Like I don't want all that.
What kind of crunchy stuff?
I don't really like celery. So if you're going to sneak celery in, it got to be really fine. Like it weirds me out to hear it crunching. Like why is tuna fish crunching? I can't know.
Really? So
yeah, I'm really weird.
Do you like onions in yours?
No, I don't want none of that. I just want. I don't mind a little bit. Look at your face.
Well, no, because Shavella doesn't like onions and stuff.
So I don't want that.
To me, that makes or break the dish. It needs like some chopped onion. I can live without the celery. I can live without that. And I've have to learn how to get over not having boiled egg in it, because Shavella has this thing against eggs. But I prefer a boiled egg in it. I think it just makes it over. It just takes it over the edge. I agree. But she does have a thing about eggs, and it's talk about childhood trauma. She does have a thing about eggs, so I try to honor that. But yeah, so she doesn't. So whenever I have, like, if I have fried rice, I can't. If she's gonna have it, it can't have any scrambled egg in it. Any type like potato salad. When I make potato salad, like I have to make a separate side of no egg in it, because like she just has a thing against eggs. But yeah, I don't know, Shirley Reed, how you fake a tuna sandwich. I don't know, but I mean, I guess not the same thing as like imitation crab meat and stuff. I guess coming from Baltimore,
maybe.
I remember when I was
crab meat. Do you see that crab meat is like $57 a can?
It's a lot. I mean,
my word.
I'm not eating crab cakes these days, but I remember when I was in Ohio and somebody had like this crab dish, and I was like, "Oh, do you have any crab?" I said, "Oh," I was like, "Where'd you get your crab meat from?" They were like, "Oh, this is that imitation stuff." I was like, "Yeah, I'll pass." Like, I'm not coming from Baltimore. Like, no,
we are crab snobs. Like, oh no.
Have you ever had a like? I won't even order a crab cake somewhere else. Like, if I'm maybe in New Orleans, I'll have a crab cake down there.
No.
Maybe.
I can't do it.
A very good one, unless you are known for like, if I'm, because LA has a lot of places. LA has a lot of places that like cater to, like, they fly stuff in
right
to meet the regional. Like, they're like, if you're from Baltimore, you'll appreciate this. And so I actually had a crab cake at a place in LA, and it was almost as good as a G&M's crab cake here in Baltimore.
Okay.
Almost as good as G&M's. And G&M's is not the top of the line crab cake.
I was gonna say G&M falling off.
They really are, actually. They're actually falling off a lot. But I mean, you see the price of the crab. All right, let's take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back. We got a couple other things to deal with. Let's go and take a quick break.
Our world is filled with polarizing topics that land most people on one side or the other. The Headspace with Dr. Mike team isn't afraid to take them on. Monthly, we will invite people on both sides of some of the most controversial topics, from the serious to the silly, to debate their positions. We look forward to charged discussions that will inform and entertain. DM your head-to-head show ideas to us on Instagram or Facebook at Headspace DM.
All right, so I think COVID is just going to be here for the rest of our lives. I'm convinced that we're just going to constantly be having conversations about it. Yay, the booster shots have been approved. Are you planning to get your booster shot, Christine?
Wednesday at 9:30.
Got it. All right, I'm getting mine December 1st because I had to plan it out because I'm still teaching, and I want to make sure I have it on a day when like I can like kind of
just in case,
because I don't know how the thing's going to hit. All right. And then the kids got approved, like 5 to 11 years old can now get it. We're waiting to hear back from Mike's pediatrician to see about that for him. So that'll be nice to kind of get that process started for him. But then like Aaron Rodgers like made the news. Yay, Kevin, you got your booster shot. Good for you, brother. I'm so glad to hear that. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers made the news because early on it was assumed that he, and you know what happens when you assume things, you gotta be careful about that. It was assumed that he did have his vaccination because I think the NFL has some rules that if you're not vaccinated, you have to go through a stricter like regimen, and you kind of there's protocols that you just have to follow. And apparently he was not following those protocols. And it was under the guise that, you know, I think once all this started coming out, it was revealed that because he said, I am inoculated. And I guess people should have figured that out then, that that's why he, you know, because I mean, technically inoculation is when you're in a situation where you have the regimen that you need. Like, so if a person gets both of their shots, right, if you Moderna or Pfizer, you get both of your shots, right, then you're considered fully inoculated. Like, that's kind of how that works. And so I think a lot of people just made that assumption, but it turns out that he was not. And, you know, many people are like, why are we getting upset with him? Why are we getting upset? He didn't really lie. But he did lie. Like, didn't he?
I think so.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I knew he was going to get off. I knew they were going to find a way. They're not going to let one of the golden children of
right.
They're not going to let that happen. Like, he's a moneymaker for the NFL. But I have a couple of problems with it. First of all, I happen to know somebody that plays for them, so you put your teammates at risk, right? You put anybody else that interacted with you at risk. But not to mention the rules.
And you're just saying that not because he's not vaccinated, but because he's not doing the stricter protocols.
The protocol that goes along with it. Yeah. Not vaccinated. I get it. I mean, I have my feelings about that, but I get it, right? But at the same token, you know, the rule says that you're supposed to do this and this, and you didn't do it. Yet and still, Colin Kaepernick still has been offered a contract. And he didn't really break a rule. Like, he didn't break an NFL rule. He broke a rule of some people's opinion. I'm not even going to call it public opinion, but he broke that rule because you didn't like what he was saying, but yet he doesn't have a contract. Now, granted, you know, was he a good player? Was he not? I don't know. There's some mediocre quarterbacks that actually are making, like, they're killing in the league, you know, right now, you know, because they just ended up with another team that it ended up working better. You know, some players just don't work well under certain systems, right? We know this from the workplace. Like,
I was getting ready to say,
certain bosses just don't. I'm a great worker, but if you're not the best boss for me, it may not be a good fit. So I mean that happens, and so I guess it's very interesting. I don't know. I just think that I do think that when people are crying that there's a little bit of hypocrisy going on, that's definitely an area. So I don't know. But he got fined heftily. I mean, what, $14,000? I mean, isn't that like $20?
I was say, is that hefty? That's hefty to us.
I was being funny.
Oh,
like, what's that, like $200 for us? You know?
Right.
Anyway, we're going to see how that plays out in the coming days, because they did say that there are chances of other possibilities, like he could get suspended and all this other stuff. I doubt it. We've seen this story before, and there you go. Christine.
Yes.
There is a story in Detroit about a lady who was in a rent-to-own situation with her house. And I'm gonna have to bring Kim. We're gonna bring Kim on here in the coming days, because I want to talk about that, because there's some folk who are like kind of like, is this a good deal? What's the deal with rent-to-own? So she got into this rent-to-own situation, and she has a great backstory in the sense that she was a drug addict that recovered, got herself cleaned up, you know, went from homelessness to being a homeowner. So she thought, right? She was on disability, I think making $500 a month with her disability check or whatever have you. And she was in a position where she actually paid off the house, the contract with the rent to own. She was paying her lease, and portion of the lease was going towards paying off the house. There was a gentleman that was coming to her house every month to actually take the payment from her. When she made the last payment, the article even says that she did a dance around the house, was praising God for just providing for her. And so she reached out to her contact, who was claiming to be the property manager. And he, she said, hey, I'm ready to get my deed, all this other stuff. And he said, we can go ahead and meet downtown. Then he canceled the meeting. When she went to call back to reschedule, his phone was out of service. The guy that was the bill collector that apparently was supposed to have owned this property, his phone was out of service. And then she knew something was wrong, but then it became apparent when she got something in the mail ordering her eviction. And it turned out, when they started investigating it, that she was a part of a scam that actually is really happening. It's very prevalent in Detroit, apparently. But there is a scam where the money that she was putting towards her lease and rent, the guy never owned it. It wasn't even his to own. And the property man, the people that actually own it, had never gotten any of the money. And so now she's in this court battle. The judge was able to stop the eviction for the time being so that she could work with her lawyer and see if they could figure it out. But somehow or another, she's going to have to prove that she did make the payments to the guy, but she had receipts and stuff. But the way this scammer did it, he was so savvy about it that they're not able to trace it back. And they say most of these people that fall under this are not going to, they don't get recovery from it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's unfortunate, like, because people, you get so excited thinking that you got this good thing. You just don't think that people are that crappy, that that's what'll happen. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, all right, get ready to close out. Let's go ahead and take another break real quick, and then we'll come back and get going.
Okay.
Focused on photo, versed in video, For Any Media brings visions to life, from headshots to family shoots, casual candids to structured scenes. Our team can provide whatever you need. In Baltimore, you may have seen us at local events such as the Poly City Tailgate or the Randallstown Romp. You can find us on all social media platforms at the number 4 Any Media. For Any Media, for anything. Contact us so we can create.
All right, so it is. I'm looking out my window. The leaves are rustling. It's like just a cloudy fall day. By the way, I got a lot of shade to throw at you fall people because I am not a fall fan. Didn't we have the? Are you a fall person, Christine?
I do enjoy fall.
Of course. Well, fall's over, just in case you didn't realize. Fall's over.
Fall is not over.
It is over, though. It really is. Like, fall lasts for 2 minutes. And then that frustrates me because we go straight from summer to fall, then winter. And I have a feeling that winter's coming in with a punch. So y'all,
it was just 70 degrees. It was just 70 degrees the day before yesterday. Cut it out.
It is 70 degrees for a day. Come on now. Don't do it.
It was 70 degrees most of this week.
Fall is over.
It's not.
Anytime I can use my booty warmer in my car for comfort, fall is over.
You just like that.
No, you just So those of you who are excited about the fall, you got it. And now we get ready to go into winter. And I have a feeling that winter has an attitude. But I do have a question. Is it too early to start Christmas?
The only reason I'm going to say no, and the other time I would. The only reason I'm going to say no is because we've been in a panini press for the last 18 months.
But in a what press?
In the panini press. If we hadn't been in the panini press for the last 18 months, I would be talking smack. Can you let people have their turkey first? My goodness.
So I love Christmas. Like, I love everything about Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday outside of my birthday. And well, yeah, my birthday is a holiday. Absolutely.
Word.
So I love Christmas, and I really do try to hold off on the Christmas decorating until after Thanksgiving, right? But I think that I am going to embrace it, and I think we're going to have our Christmas tree up within the next week, because we can. As a matter of fact, we were going to keep the Christmas tree up for the whole year because because we could.
Y'all can take me off. I don't need to take me down. I'm not coming back.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you though, and I'm working on this because I'm a preacher. And I am a big proponent of Thanksgiving in the sense that Thanksgiving, when you look from a biblical perspective, it was snowing at the Eisenhower Tunnel this week, and it's way too early for Christmas, Dr. D. Okay, Kevin, to each his own. But I am a firm believer in the power of being thankful, and I don't want us to lose track of being thankful, And so with that, I think that's what makes me hold off, and I don't pull up. I'm not going to be wearing Christmas hat and all that stuff until after Turkey Day, of course. But I think we are going to just start the process where we're going to have some Christmas decorating with the Thanksgiving decoration. I think that'll be kind of nice, actually. So I think we are going to do that. But you're right, Panini Press. We have been in the Panini Press for the last 18 months. And yeah, you're right. Let's take one more quick break and then let's close out.
Follow the Headspace with Dr. Mike show on all social media platforms at Headspace DM. We want to keep you up to date on all of our hot topics and keep the dialogue going even after the show. We also value what's important to you and your community. DM your show ideas to us on Instagram or Facebook. The next time you log on, you may hear Dr. Mike discussing the very topic or issue close to your heart.
It's time to say goodbye to all my little friends. HEADSPAC. You remember that from the Mickey Mouse Club?
I do.
Right. So we got one for Headspace. Christine, as always, it's always fun to have you in the studio. It's always nice. We always have a good kiki on air. Everybody, thank y'all for joining us. I wish you all the best. This weekend, we are celebrating 91 years of anniversary at my church, Mount Pleasant Church and Ministries in Baltimore, Maryland. So if any of y'all are in Baltimore, please stop by 9 o'clock. We do follow all safety protocols for COVID, so we try to keep y'all safe and socially distant. It's going to be kind of cool. We're doing a pseudo award show format. And so yours truly actually has to be a presenter. So matter of fact, after we get off the air, I got to go check and see if I can fit into my tux for church tomorrow. So we're going to see how that goes. But anyway, you got big plans for the rest of the weekend?
No, I've been all week. So
it's not the best. It's not the best, but you can just kind of just sit and chill.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be going to dinner with some friends Sunday, but I don't know because I've been canceled. Just kidding. All right, everybody. I wish y'all all the best that God has for you. And then I just wish you all some peace that only He can bring. All that being said, see you next time. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Headspace with Dr. Mike. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to follow us on social media at Headspace DM to continue the dialogue with other Headspacers regarding today's show. Everyone is filling their headspace with something. The question is, what are you filling yours with? Tune in next week.